Hey, this is Tony from Airguns, Air Rifles, and Pistols, and today I have the FX Streamline here, thanks to our friends at Airgun Depot. We have the Streamline in 177. We're going to do something a little different. I have a MTC Viper Pro on it, and we're going to do a little field target as well as our regular 25 and 50 yard groups on it. Special thanks to H&N for providing us some pellets to test with it, as well as JSB for their continued support as far as pellets and such go. So, let's get on to it. First, a few details about the Streamline.
The Streamline comes in your choice of 3 different stock options and 3 different calibers. It's available in 177, 22, and 25. In both 177 and 22 caliber, you're looking at a 190cc air cylinder. In the 25 caliber, it ups the length and ups the capacity. You're going to see a 250cc cylinder on that. Like all FX rifles, this has the smooth tip barrel, internally regulated rifle, side cocking action, 3-position power adjuster, removable magazine, 2-stage adjustable trigger. You know, it has everything you come to expect from an FX. One thing I will say, I did review this in synthetic, and for some reason, it did not like, it didn't like my face. I kept on leaving blemishes on the stock. I had to scrub them out a little bit, so I'm a little iffy on the FX synthetic stocks. A lot of people like them. Me personally, I'm looking forward to reviewing this rifle in 25 caliber and the laminate at a later time. The Streamline features a new and revolutionary design from FX where the breech block actually incorporates the air cylinder into it. That means the air cylinder is not removable. It's attached to the breech block, has an internal regulator, and really what that does is it supposedly helps with the efficiency of the rifle and lowers some of the weight, as well as removes the opportunity for leaks to occur, or at least one point of failure for leaks to occur. The flip side of it, for us air gunners, by doing that in this method, once they got the process down, it means we're looking at a lower cross rifle, which is why you're getting the quality you're used to out of an FX rifle at a slightly lower price point. On the side of the rifle, there's a 3-position power adjuster. In testing with lower weight pellets, we did find that this had a significant effect. When we were using some of the H&N field target lead freeze, we found that this gave a huge variance, whereas high power, we were getting 1135 feet per second for a little under 16 foot-pounds of energy. At medium power, right around 1,000 feet per second, give or take 20 or so, for a little below 12 foot-pound of energy. But at low power, it brought that all the way down to 700 feet per second, and that was right a little above 6 foot-pounds of energy, so it was a pretty tremendous difference there. While the Streamline does come with a shrouded barrel that does make it relatively backyard friendly, you are able through FX to get these stack-on additional moderators to bring that sound level even further down should you so desire. So now let's fill up our gun and let's show you what it does like in the field.
I have the FX Streamline here in front of the Chronograph. Just going to do up max power. Let's see what a few shots give us. So these are with the H&N Field Target Trophy Green lead-free at 5.56 grains. So at max power, it's going to be pretty high up there. That's about 15 foot-pounds of energy, and it clocked in at 1128 feet per second. We'll do a couple more shots here just to see what it's like. 1133, 1150, 1161, 1111, and on this one we're just going to record what at the barrel our decibel levels are. So on that one, it was giving us a 92 decibels is what we were getting with that one on just the 5.56 at max power. So what we're going to do is go ahead and shoot a couple at a slightly lower power level. We're going to switch it over to 2 and see what that gives us. $11.28. That brought that down to 947, which is right at 11 foot-pounds of energy. 954, 953, 957, and now we're going to bring it down to low power. So we're down to 693 at low power, 687, 702, 709, 708, and these are right at 6 foot-pounds of energy, so that's pretty much on the super low side. Good for targeting, but that's about it. 713. Now, at that level, what we're going to do here is we're just going to do another quick reading off the decibel meter. So on the lowest power, we're getting 83 decibels on it. So it's still not that bad, but at low power, it's kind of on the low side. Consistency picks up. What we'll do is we'll bring it back up to high again and do some more shooting and see what kind of strings we get. 1129, 1132, 1139, 1139, 1138, 1130, 1136, 1130, 1131, 1135, 1136, 1141, 1137, and that's it. A little under 1 pound for a trigger pull. 953, 955, 958, 948, 958, 953, 957, 967, 964, 957, 962, 961, 947, and that's it.
That last shot we took there, we were off rec, meaning we were out of air. We're starting to run out. Even that said, if we eliminate that last shot, we were getting under a 2% extreme spread at medium power with those 5.56 H&N field target greens. Grouping was definitely usable for field target at that medium setting.
So now for comparison, we just have the JSB 10.34 at max power to see what these guys do. .876, and that brings us right at around 17.6 foot-pounds of energy. 878, 867, 886, 880, 879, 886, 878, 876, 875, 886, 887, 875.
Here are those 10 shots graphed. We saw the same thing on the first 30 to 40 shots at high power with the JSB 10.34s. It was pretty consistent. It was about a 19 feet per second extreme spread and right around a 2% spread there. And we're bringing it in right under 18 foot-pounds of energy. Perfect for field target and hunter field target in the US. Here we're at 25 yards with those H&N field target greens, those 5.56 grain pellets at max power. This is one full magazine at 25 yards. And really, I just want to show you here why I did not like these pellets at max power. The group was pretty wide for just being 25 yards, and I know this rifle can shoot a lot better than this. So here we're still at 25 yards with the H&N field target trophy green lead-free pellets, but here we're at medium power, and suddenly we're getting good groups. It's because we're shooting at a lesser velocity in the 900 range. So at medium power, these definitely work with the Streamline. Now, FX in general, the smooth twist like JSB pellets. Here are two groups of 25 yards that were shot with the JSB 10.34 grain pellets in 177. The groups are pretty amazing, and honestly, this rifle will outshoot me at 25 yards. It's just that good. These are 2-inch Birchwood KC targets, so we're looking at groups that are probably at the half-inch mark, if not significantly less. 3/8 inch, even less is possible, especially if you take your time. That not proving to be much of a challenge, we decided to take this out to 50 yards. Now, one thing I do want to say is at 50 yards, you can kind of tell if you look in the background, we were getting some wind, but in addition to that, this first target that we were shooting was the 4th magazine, I believe, through the rifle. So at this point, we were already running out of air. It was starting to drop in velocity. For the second target and third, that was after a new fill. So this second target we're shooting here is after refilling the rifle to max. And you'll see we're getting a pretty good group. I do want to state, though, we were getting gusty winds, which is kind of common at this location that was Wisconsin Air Gun Club. But we still were getting pretty acceptable groups, definitely sub 1 inch groups at 50 yards, and I have no doubt that those can be brought even tighter. Remember, these are with 177s, so you're going to see a lot more effect from the wind with the 177, but even so, that said, these are some pretty significantly great 50-yard groups with the 177 in winds that were clocked at between 8 and 15 miles per hour, depending on the gusts, averaging to around 10 mile per hour winds. So really like the JSBs in this rifle. And now onto the field target testing. I shoot hunter field target. I have my rifle, has to be under 20 foot-pounds, scope, 12x magnification max. I get to sit in a bucket or a non-backed seat, and I get to use a bipod. My targets are usually 50 yards and under, give or take. In fact, sometimes they look like this. They're usually hidden in the woods, like this. See that arrow? That's my target. Can't see my target? Here it is. As a kill zone, I hit it. Or I try to. In addition to my bucket, you can either be standing or kneeling, depending on the difficulty of this shot. And this is a shooting competition, both here in the US and in the UK, with slightly different rules. So here I got my target. It's out of focus. So use your focus knob on the side of your scope to kind of range. Once it's in focus and sharp, you can kind of see what your distance is. Here, I had that right about 25 meters or so. So I know that with this FX, the way I have it set up, it shouldn't have any holdover really whatsoever. So now, just aiming for that target there at the center. That was a miss. That's a knockdown. Once again, using my focus knob, I'll go just slightly beyond focus, then back in, so I get the most accurate focus I can. Now, for a field target here in the US, we're limited to 12x zoom in the hunter field target division, which is what I compete in, which is why I'm sitting down in a bucket and have a bipod. Yes, I'm not holding this like I normally do, because to be honest with you, trying to balance the camera is not really working that well. Oh, that was a miss. May or may not have mentioned, I do this for fun. I'm not the greatest shot. I have another target down. So, the FX Streamline. It shoots above its weight class for the price it is. When you compare it to the other rifles in the FX line, some of the other premium rifles, it offers a heck of a lot in that $1,000 sub $1,000 price point, depending on the stock. The accuracy was there with the JSBs. If we went to medium power, we're even able to use the lead-free lighter H&N field target trophy greens, which is great. I like the rifle a lot. In the future, I'll be giving this a test in 25 caliber. As always, a big thank you to our sponsor. In this case, that would be Airgun Depot. With Airgun Depot carrying the FX line, we really have some great service and other options out there for those people who are looking for that FX products and other products that Airgun Depot carries as well. Thanks a lot. This is Tony from airgunsarp.com. Have a great day and happy shooting.